So we have this opportunity for the next hour or so to practice meditation, or as is said in the Buddhist parlor language, to cultivate bhavana. And in the cultivation of bhavana, it's turning our attention to more inward experiences of this mind and body. Rather than getting preoccupied with external things about the past and the future, or abstract thinking. So in one analogy, the Buddha described the process of bhavana like training a wild elephant. And in the time the Buddha trained wild elephant was a great asset because of its strength to move heavy objects. Of course, they were also used in battles. So, when the elephant was first captured, it had its forest habits of liking to go here and go there, go everywhere, wander around the jungle. And what the elephant trainer would do would be to knock a good size stake or log into the ground, and then tether the elephant to the stake, and then with patience and kindness to train the elephant to stay, not to go off, to stay present round the stake. So in the practice of meditation, say knocking, the staking is establishing mindfulness on the body. And establishing mindfulness on the body is like, firstly, a reasonable posture that is upright but not tensed upright. So relaxing the face, letting the shoulders drop, the elbows hang. And firstly just opening the eyes just to check you're not looking at the ground directly in front of you, that you're looking several meters ahead. One sense of like Feel that like slight pushing the stomach forward and then allowing the upper body to sit on the torso. And chin slightly tucked in, so the head is not looking upward. Maybe just slightly, eyes just slightly downward. So just establishing a posture that's conducive towards, being alert, awake, in a not bad but relaxed way. Then just sweeping through the body, noticing the sensations in the body in the present moment. Again, like the idea, like just sweeping down in the body is like, like the stake going in the ground. And we can do this by just following the breath in. As the breath enters the nose, the sense of the face, is the face relaxed, jaw not tensing, eyes gently closed. Noticing the sensations around the head. Any sense of tension, energy. And as the breath flows in, just the throat, noticing any sensations around the throat. And if we do feel any sense of tightness or blockage, it is like this sense of just breathing through it. It's like water can clear a blockage. The breath flowing through any sense of tightness. Then the breath in the lungs, sense of the lungs expanding, contracting with the in and out breath. Noticing the sensations around the heart area. These sensations can be like related to our emotional experience, positive, negative, love, hate. Noticing the energy at the heart. Open feeling or restricted. Again, breathing with that, just accepting the way it is. Maybe we even notice the breath moving down, the expansion of the abdomen, the rising and falling of the abdomen, the belly. Again, noticing the sensations, again, around the solar plexus. Again, this area related to, anxiety, fear. So noticing the sensations, the energy there. Again, just breathing with it, accepting the way it is. So noticing where the sensation of the breath is more prominent. It's up in the nose or some area in the body, chest or abdomen. And also we can keep like a broad awareness of the body as we're breathing in and out. Don't have to focus on any particular point, but just know now the breath is coming in, now the breath is flowing out. Again, just a natural breath, nothing forced or trying to do things with it, just allowing the body to breathe naturally. So a sense of not doing the breath, but just allowing the body to do its thing. When we're not doing it, it still carries on, doesn't it? When we go to sleep, the body still carries on breathing. So sweeping through the body in this way is like, they say, knocking the stake into the ground, and also establishing mindfulness in the present moment. So this is like the rope that keeps the mind on the body. The mind here like being the elephant. Keeping the elephant around the stake with the tether of mindfulness. Now this is what we're cultivating, but of course, at first maybe the stake's not in the ground very solidly, or the tether is not very strong rope, so maybe the elephant's going to break free and go off. We have to bring it back. Tether it again. So this is where the patience comes in. Because, at first the wild elephant's going to break its tether and go off. We can't expect the elephant just to sit down by the stake. So the mind will wander, thinking about this, thinking about that, but we bring it back to the body when we're aware that its mind's wandered off. Now, impatience is important. In this day and age, everything's so quick and instant that this quality of patience is not very well developed. So this is what we have to cultivate, because what we're doing is not actually an easy thing to do. It's not instant. Something we have to work at, be patient with. And kindness too, not being too willful, hard on ourselves, avoiding tendencies to be self-critical, comparing ourselves with others. More of a sense of, may we be well. May we be free from afflictions. So of course, like with the elephant, if we're too aggressive with it, forceful with it, unkind to it, it could be quite dangerous, couldn't it? So with the mind too, it's important to relate to the mind in a skillful way, with patience and kindness. In the practice of meditation, the Buddha encourages us to be, know to awareness about what's needed with dealing with the experience in the present moment. And on one occasion, the Buddha emphasized, three things. Knowing when to focus on the aspect of concentration. Knowing when to focus on the aspect of energy, bringing up energy. And knowing when just to cultivate equanimity. So with the more restless and agitated, busy mind, and more cultivate concentration too, trying to keep the mind more on a meditation object, like the breath, something that lends itself to calming the mind. So the breath is one thing, but whatever, there's different things we can use to help promote calmness. Just, mindfulness, body, walking, meditation. When the mind is particularly agitated, I find even like chanting is quite good. I remember in the early days of meditation, doing the evening chanting before the sitting really helped to focus the mind. Or one teacher I stayed with emphasized the practice of mindfulness of death, Maranasati. But, the Buddha warned us about, just doing concentration practice, if it's not balanced with energy, then it can lead to slothfulness, sleepiness. Like, we get calm, a sense of calm, and then the mind goes into sort of sleepy state. So this is something to be careful about. So when there's more of a sense of sleepiness and drowsiness, or lethargic sort of state, then the focus can be more on the quality of energy. How to bring up energy into the mind. And the things the Buddha recommended was like bringing a theme of contemplation into the mind. Or something we've remembered. Something, if we remembered some verses from something. In Buddhism we have lots of lists, don't we, of different qualities. So these are sort of things we can bring to mind, contemplate them. This helps to, energize the mind. But of course, if we overdo it, then the Buddha said, then this leads to the mind becoming restless again. So just knowing the right amount, when you feel this energy coming back into the mind, and then going back to the meditation object. So this is creating this balance between concentration and energy. Too much concentration can lead to lethargy, dullness. Too much energy to restlessness, agitation. So often meditation practices, calming and energizing, working between these two aspects. And knowing when to apply which aspect. And then just the practice of equanimity, just the sense of just observing the comings and goings in the mind, peacefully observing, without focusing on anything in particular. This can also be helpful with restlessness too, to calm the mind a little bit. If we find some sort of effort just, creates more tension or restlessness. But if we just practiced equanimity all the time, then the Buddha said the mind doesn't become perfectly poised for the abandoning of defilements. So this quality of a steady attention that doesn't get caught up in anything is not established. You say if we want to investigate something, we've got to be able to hold the head still, so we can look at it with our head still. So if there's not a quality of stillness in the mind, that doesn't get carried away with the things that arise and are ceasing, then the insight won't be as deep. So these are the three aspects the Buddha encourages us to give attention to when the appropriate conditions are manifest. And he related this to the process of purifying gold. If one just heated the gold up, the gold would burn off. That's just, if we just energy. If we just cooled it down all the time, it would never be purified with just concentration. Or if you just look at it. But the wise gold refiner knows when to apply what, when to heat, when to cool, when just to look onward. And in this way, the gold is purified. When it's purified, one can make wonderful ornaments with it. It's malleable, easy to mould. In the same way, the Buddha said, when the mind's trained in this way, it's something of great value. One can do wonderful things with it, but one can free the heart from suffering. So these two analogies, the encouragement of the Buddha to cultivate the bhavana, to cultivate the strength of mind like the strength of the elephant, that one can do, gives the power to do things with, or like pure gold, purity of mind and the value of that. So finish with the chanting in English, the reflections on universal well-being. If you have a chanting book with you, page 41. Maybe you'll know it. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. The future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be theirs.